Hi, my name's Clive Thompson. I'm 66 years old, and computers are a little bit challenging for me, as I'm sure they are for many of us older folk. One of the other things which I find quite challenging is doing my electronic filing. I scan my documents, then I manually rename them, then I move them to the relevant folder where they belong. That was very tedious. So I found a nice way to automate that, and if I can work it, you can work it too. And it's using a program called Hazel. It's dead easy to use. It takes a few minutes to set it up for the type of document that you want. I've got a couple of documents here. There's one which is a printout from the Wall Street Journal today. I've got another one with about chatbots. It's got the word chatbot in it there, and I've got another one about Meta, and the word Meta is in there in several places. They're all three documents have got a date on them as well, and what I'd like to do, just for the sake of illustration, is put these documents on my scanner, have my scanner read them, transfer them to a folder on my computer, and then have them picked up by the program which I'm going to tell you about, called Hazel, which will read the document, check the date, and rename the document according to the date, the type of document, and dump it into a folder relevant. So, for example, if I take this document by Meta, about Meta, I'd like it to read the date on the document. I would like it to rename the document with the date, with a unique number, and lastly, put it into a folder called Meta. So the first step is to scan the documents. Now, very important point when you're scanning documents is to make sure that you've got the right sort of scanner that can do optical character recognition, otherwise known as machine readable, or eventually just get it. You must have an optical character recognition scanner. Most of them would be, or that would otherwise be known as a PDF searchable text documents. But most scanners will do that, so you don't have to worry too much. Right. So that's the second document scanned, and I'm going to scan the third document now and put that on the scanner. Right, that's all three documents on the scanner. You should see them turning up here. As you can see, two of the documents have turned up. The third one will turn up in a few seconds. There it is. So we've got the Wall Street Journal, we've got the chatbot document, and we've got the Meta document. Now, as I said, each of these documents, they're all called Scan something or other. I think it looks like Scan 2023. Yeah, there's a scan and date. But that's no use to me. I want the document, this one we're looking at, which is the Meta document, to be renamed with not today's date. I want it to be renamed with the date on the document, followed by a unique number, if I want to search on the number, followed by the word Meta, followed by the extension. And this one I want to be renamed by the date, then a number, unique number, and followed by the word chatbot. And this one, I want it to be renamed, you guessed it, the date on the document, followed by a unique number, followed by Wall Street Journal. And afterwards, I'd like each of these files to be put into the relevant folder, whether it be chatbot, Meta, or Wall Street Journal, as you see there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to move over to the program called Hazel, and you're going to watch me write the rules on Hazel. So the first step is to set up the folder which we're going to need, which is a folder called newly scanned. We just looked at that with the three documents we just scanned in it. So that's the folder. Now I'm in that folder, I can write a rule for each document. We'll start with the rule for Meta. I'll call it the rule Meta, and it says if all of the following conditions are met, and I'm going to go down here to contain match, and I'm going to put in the word Meta, done. And I'm also going to say if another condition I want is for it to a date rule to make sure there's a date in the document. So if contents contain match, and then I'm going to put in custom date. I don't have to do anything else other than give it that token a name, call token date, and done. Right, done. What do I want it to do? I want it to rename the file, so we go there. We're going to give it a pattern. So the pattern is going to be the date, followed by a space, followed by a unique number, which will have a full format like this. I want 4 digits at least. Could change that if I want to more. Followed by the word space and then the word meta, M-E-T-A. Done. And then once it's done, I'm going to move it. So I do move to folder, other. Let's just choose the folder. We're going to choose not newly scanned. We're going to choose documents, scan documents, and meta, and open, save. I'll just turn that off before it works on it. Stop Hazel. We'll start working on it in a few seconds if I don't do that. Now we're going to make a new rule for the Wall Street Journal. Let's do Wall Street Journal. Then if all the conditions are true, so its contents contain match, and we'll just put in the word Wall Street, done, and we want a date as well if they must contain a date. Contents contain match, put in custom date, we'll call it the token date, D-A-T-E, done. What do I want to do? Rename the document. So we're going to rename it with, I'll just go back here, backspace that. It's going to have the date, so I'll scroll that up, go down to there, date, followed by a space, followed by a number, which is going to be the unique number generated here. 40 format, followed by a space, followed by the word Wall Street Journal. Followed by the extension, and done. And having renamed it, we want to move it, and I'm going to move it to the folder which is going to be called under documents, which is called Scan Documents and Wall Street Journal. There we go. Right, and the last document is going to be called Chatbot. So the new rule, here we are, it's Chatbot. If all of the following conditions are met, the contents contain match, put in the word chatbot, done, and we want a date, so if the contents contain match, and we put in the word, no we don't type it, is there, custom date, we'll just need to give it a word, call it date. Call the date, good name for a date. That's the token name of the date. And then we need to go to the rename it. So get rid of that name first of all, and we're going to call it date, which I click on date down here. Then a space, and then the number, which we want in the 4-digit format. Could be 6 or more if you wanted to. Followed by a space, followed by chatbot. Done. We then need to move it. So we move it to the folder. Under documents, scan documents, chatbot, save. So we've got the 3 rules, all pretty much the same, and they're all saved. In a second I'll click Start Hazel, but I'm just going to swing you over to this screen over here, so when it starts to work you can see it working. So now I'm clicking Start Hazel, and I'll also make sure it runs in the dscan folder. So it shouldn't take a second or two before these three disappear. They've gone, and one's turned up in Chatbot, one's turned up in Meta, and one's turned up Wall Street Journal. Let's just check the full names, see how they look. So the one, so in Chatbot it's now called 2023-03-06. That happens to be today, but I printed them out today, so it's not surprising. Followed by number 0010, Chatbot PDF. Next one is called same date, followed by 0011, Meta PDF. And the third one is called Wall Street Journal 0012. So I've got the date, number and title. So that's basically the magic trick as to how you get your filing done automatically. There's many more tweaks you can do to that. That was a very simplified version of a simple filing, but you can make very complex filing if you want out of this. You can put it in multiple places. You can give it unique numbers, new words, insert words, change letters, all sorts of things. You read any word in the document and name it after that word. For example, if you have a contract note, you could name it by the contract and the contract number. It would be very easy to read out the contract number because it would be after the word contract number, and you read that and it could find that text and insert it into the title of the document if you want. So that's a quick rundown of how of how Hazel works to help me do my filing automatically. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Have a look at my other video about how to clean up your desktop and anything else I've put up since then. Thanks very much.